You might have noticed at this point that I'm a big fan of Goji Center's Mortalodon. After I saw these guys, I thought that I wanted something like this for my verse, a hybrid made specifically to take down human targets. With this, I initially created Indoraptor Thanatos, a hybrid built quite similarly to Mortalodon, so basically my own Indoraptor 2.0. But instead of being dromaeosaur based, it's based on the Megalaptoran Moib macrothorax. Then, one day, I decided to create a mammalian hybrid, Arctophilus carnifex, an absolute tank of a cat. I planned to also do a video on them, and I still will do that, most likely, but I think I'm going to present them in depth in the video about the lore of my alternate universe and Novigen, the company that created these hybrids. I was happy with Indoraptor and Arctophilus, with Arctophilus being more sole-purposed to take down medium-sized dinosaurs and guard property or livestock, and Indoraptor rather being the anti-personnel hybrid. But I just felt like this hybrid could be better suited for its task. And then I had an idea. I once again took on the concept of a military hybrid, and I wanted it to be a bit more unique, so I based it neither on a dromaeosaur or Megalaptoran nor any theropod. I based it on Megalania. In this video, I'll present to you the better Indoraptor, at least in my opinion, Muradromaeus ferrodon. Starting with the base, we have the extinct monitor lizard Varanus priscus, otherwise known as Megalania. This base will provide the general size of this creature and a sturdy tail, allowing for decently strong attacks. Other than that, it already comes with some good musculature, sense of smell, and immunity to its own hemotoxins. If you've ever seen a Komodo dragon running, you know that they can be pretty fast. Also, their metabolism helps them with quick bursts of speed. But I need something different, something allowing this hybrid to gallop more effectively. For this, we move on to the next contributor, to change this hybrid's way of moving around. Caprosuchus is known for its more terrestrial lifestyle, compared to other crocs, and comes with some useful adaptations. It has longer legs than modern crocodilians, with its body high above the ground, making it a more effective runner. There are some modern crocodilians known for being able to gallop surprisingly fast, for example the Cuban crocodile, but Caprosuchus was definitely more specifically adapted for this. This implementation will provide the hybrid with longer limbs and adaptations for galloping, taking away the low lizard-like posture. Furthermore, Caprosuchus traits will strengthen the bite. While there appears to be no information on Caprosuchus's exact bite force, its strong skull shows adaptations for withstanding a lot of pressure, and for a fairly strong bite, comparable to large modern crocodilians, which is enough given the hybrid's task. It also gives this creature a set of elongated saber-like fangs. Additionally, Caprosuchus will provide adaptations for swimming, like the tail, to make this hybrid an all-terrain hunter. It's likely that, similar to other crocodilians, Caprosuchus would also add precise sensory pits on the snout and an effective immune system, bolstering disease and toxin resistance. Utahraptor was the largest dromaeosaurid known, and interestingly, large dromaeosaurids appear to have been the most likely to hunt in packs, already adding some cooperative behavior to the hybrid's nature. Moreover, this dinosaur will provide a strong but lighter skeleton with hollow yet very sturdy bones, which could also function as a backup store for oxygen to a degree. Additionally, it will add to the teeth, with the Utahraptor having serrated blade-like teeth. Both Utahraptor and Caprosuchus also were able to open their jaws fairly wide, allowing the hybrid to open its mouth to over 80 degrees. And Utahraptor traits will also replace the cold-blooded metabolism of both Megalania and Caprosuchus. The Madagascar day gecko is a species of geckos sporting adhesive toe pads that allow them to even climb up walls and walk upside down on flat surfaces, an ability many gecko species are well known for. This is achieved by special lamellae and a high amount of extremely small hair-like structures called setae, allowing them to utilize van der Waals forces, creating a molecular bond between them and the surface they are walking on. This trait will be added to the hybrid, making it able to hold onto walls, so that it can be an even more effective ambush hunter in different terrains. Now onto the brain. Yes, I took this from Goji Center's Mortalodon, but I basically did it on all three of my guard and war animals. Bonobos are highly intelligent apes with great problem-solving capabilities and creative thinking, but less aggressive than common chimpanzees. This addition will enhance the hybrid's problem-solving and learning skills and add to its cooperative nature, as bonobos are a highly social species. Then we have the ancient Greek dog breed known as the Molossian hound or Molossus, now extinct but ancestor to some modern-day large and robust dogs. This dog was not only a protector of livestock, for example, but also a loyal companion in wartime. Behavioral traits of this dog will be added to enhance the hybrid's cooperation with humans. Bonobos will further help with adding muscle density and dexterity, additionally adding to thumb articulation and gripping abilities. On the one hand, spotted hyenas were chosen to provide this hybrid with adaptations for running long distances, allowing it to chase prey for kilometers without tiring out. On the other hand, this hyena species further adds to the hybrid's social nature. Spotted hyenas are considered one of the most social predators and even outperform chimpanzees in cooperative problem-solving tasks. Not only that, they are also known to help inexperienced members of their clan with problem-solving. This trait will help the hybrid to pass down strategies to younger individuals during training. Yeah, this guy will also get iron-reinforced teeth. But since the northern short-tailed shrew is pretty much overused at this point, I chose another shrew, because why not? For this hybrid, I chose the Eurasian water shrew. Much like the short-tailed shrew, these animals have iron-coated teeth, significantly reinforcing them to make them more durable. Megalania most likely had iron-laced teeth already, much like their closest relatives, the Komodo dragons, but this is limited to the serrated edges of the teeth. The iron reinforcements on the shrew's teeth are much more present and clearly visible. Furthermore, shrews have insane reflexes, which will help improving the hybrid's own reflexes, making it exceptionally agile and fast-moving for its size. The common vampire bat was also added quite for the same reasons as with Mortalodon. It provides a strong anticoagulant venom known as Draculin to prevent blood from clotting, making any inflicted injury much worse by causing heavy bleeding. This will also help to track down an injured target. The vampire bat also provides the hybrid with extremely sharp front teeth that are able to cut through more flexible and warping materials like Kevlar. The addition of the bat will also bolster the immune system even further and allow the hybrid to use echolocation, not quite as effective as a bat, but enough to orientate in darkness. Similar to some snake species, vampire bats have thermal energy sensors around the snout, again adding to the hybrid senses. It will also give the hybrid the ability to relocate iron to other parts of its body, like the claws and even the armor, which I will talk about after the next contributor. The grasshopper mouse was added for quite a fascinating adaptation, boosting the hybrid's toxin resistance, especially against neurotoxins. These mice are carnivorous, mainly hunting scorpions, which possess dangerous neurotoxins. Thanks to a mutation creating a special protein, blocking these neurotoxins from taking effect, they are essentially immune to them, and even can use them to their own advantage, utilizing them as a kind of painkiller, boosting their pain tolerance if coming into contact with such toxins. This trait will be added to the hybrid, making its toxin resistance even more versatile. Now only one thing is missing: With the final contributor, we will move on to armor. No, I will not use the Arapaima again. Like with the short-tailed shrew, I thought I'll add something different, giving me the same traits that I need. So for this hybrid, I'll use another armored fish, the alligator gar. These fish are also covered in very tough armor. Alligator gar has so-called gynoid scales, with a bone-like inner layer and an outer layer made from guyonine, an enamel-like substance, making this armor nearly impenetrable. Additionally, excess iron can be relocated to the hybrid's armor, further reinforcing it. With that being done, meet Muradromaeus ferrodon, the iron-toothed wall runner. This hybrid grows to 6 meters or 19.7 feet in length, 1.6 meters or 4.9 feet in height, and 600 kilograms or 1,322 pounds in weight. Not too big, but big enough to easily take down humans. An all-terrain hunter, coming equipped with a variety of weapons and keen sensors. With its skull reinforced by Caprosuchus traits, this hybrid can exert bite forces similar to large modern crocodilians, with the bite pressure potentially being increased by concentrating it on the fangs. Its sharp serrated teeth, designed for cutting and slicing, leave bloody wounds, and its fangs aid in holding onto its victims. With the teeth being iron reinforced, they are a lot more durable as well. The anticoagulant venom will make any bite a lot worse. Even if Muradromaeus should let go of a target for whatever reason, they will most likely bleed to death anyway, if not treated anytime soon. Furthermore, an escaping target would leave behind a trail of blood the Muradromaeus could easily follow. The movement of its base contributor was significantly altered, with giving the hybrid longer limbs, allowing it to keep its body high above the ground and gallop surprisingly fast. Muradromaeus can reach speeds of 50 kilometers or 31 miles per hour, fast enough to outrun the fastest human. When running a bit slower though, the hybrid can cover long distances without exhausting itself. With the addition of bonobo traits, the hybrid has even denser muscles in certain areas, turning its forelimbs into another dangerous weapon. When briefly standing up on its hind limbs and using the tail as a support, like monitor lizards are known to do, it could definitely deliver a heavy blow to take down a target. The fingers are slightly elongated and the thumb is opposable, enhancing the animal's gripping ability. While the limbs keep its body above the ground, Muradromaeus still has a rather low posture, making it more maneuverable in narrow areas and fit into tight spaces, as well as having an easier time digging underneath obstacles. The sturdy tail can also be used as a weapon and is flattened towards the end, similar to crocodilians, to make this hybrid able to move more effectively in aquatic environments. Instead of thick armor plating, which would significantly reduce agility and speed, Muradromaeus is covered in smaller overlapping and articulated gynoid scales composed of materials that make them nearly impenetrable, without reducing flexibility or adding a lot of unnecessary weight. Since excess iron can be incorporated into the scales, these are further reinforced. This armor allows Muradromaeus to run and move without being limited by heavy armor plating, while still being able to tank a lot of damage. The skin coloration also has been modified to resemble a skull-like face, to create a more intimidating appearance. For a versatile war and assassin animal, it's crucial to be suited for different terrains. I already covered the hybrid swimming ability, but aside from that, Muradromaeus is an excellent climber, not only getting up trees, but also being able to literally walk on flat walls. This ability is useful for ambush hunting within settlements and between buildings. Now the hybrid will not only lure behind the next corner, no, it can surprise attack a target from above. Even jumping onto the victim alone might do the trick, as having a weight of 600 kilograms dropped on you would certainly crush your ribcage. If necessary, the hybrid's adaptations also allow it to dig underneath obstacles and as already explained, it's quite maneuverable in narrow spaces, inside buildings and hallways. Muradromaeus is an effective pack hunter able to precisely coordinate its attacks together with other members of its kind. Furthermore, the implementation of Molossian hound genome enhances the cooperation with humans, and since both dogs and bonobos are able to understand human gestures, it can be taught a variety of commands. Its social nature also allows more experienced individuals to pass down strategies to younger individuals. Since Muradromaeus was provided with similar intelligence, behavioral traits, and means of communication, this hybrid can actually cooperate with Arctophilus and Indoraptor, if trained properly. Like these hybrids, Muradromaeus also can form strong connections to its handlers if treated well. The combination of Utahraptor and dog traits allows for a superb sense of smell, allowing to track down a target for miles. Muradromaeus also has inherited the Jacobson's organ from its monitor lizard ancestor, further supporting the precise detection and tracking of prey. Their vision is good already, but to orientate in absolute darkness, the hybrid can utilize echolocation. Not only that, it allows the pack members to communicate in frequencies inaudible to their prey, leaving a target unaware of the closing-in threat. Then they also have the highly sensitive sensory pits known from crocodiles, allowing them to detect slightest movement when submerged in water. Furthermore, they are also equipped with thermal energy sensors around the snout. In their vampire bat ancestors, these were meant to find optimal areas to strike at to take in the blood of another animal. This means that the thermal energy sensors of Muradromaeus could be utilized by the hybrid to figure out a more vulnerable spot to attack. And that was Muradromaeus ferrodon, not a large but a versatile hybrid, created for one task: hunting humans. Why did I create this if I already had the Indoraptor? Well, this thing is lighter, stealthier, has improved armor, and even better terrain adaptability. Adaptations helping it to potentially outperform Indoraptor in its purpose. Other than that, I thought that Muradromaeus also has a more unique look to it, because Indoraptor just looked so similar to Mortalodon. But Muradromaeus nonetheless has a thing in common with the Indoraptor. It is a hybrid created to be a fierce assassin, as well as a loyal protector of its handlers.